hey, happens. So I almost chose not to do this video, and then I said to myself, it's like, it's the new moon, it's activating miracles. I've been on that trip for the last few days now, and it feels good. So I thought I include all you guys and do something special today. New moons are all about brand new beginnings, and let today be that. So I am mainly here today. I am going to talk to you about 3 words, and that has a lot to do with the new moon. It has a lot to do with everything that will or will not happen in the year 2021, and it is up to every individual to ensure that you make the best of today and the next 3 days to come. Not actually next 3 days. You have right up till the 19th to be sowing and seeding new ideas, and this time it's a complete individual choice. So don't try doing collective sowing. Sow as an individual with the intention for everybody to benefit from what you've asked for, which brings me to our first word for the evening, which is choices. Now, what we don't understand is that at any given point in our day, in our thought process, in all there was, is, and ever shall be, is our choices we make. So you have a choice of when to sleep, when to wake up. You make a choice of what to eat, what not to eat. However, because it is so part of our cycle, is that we don't take time out to actually figure out that we are making choices. And that is something that we need to start focusing a little bit more on, especially in this month, because we're setting the pattern for the entire year of 2021. And considering we are coming from a year like 2020, where we've had ample amount of time to think, ample amount of time to groan, moan, wonder, and do all of that, the wise idea would be to use the first 30 days of 2021 to start figuring out what you want to do for the rest of the year. Now, the first word, choices. Now, when you start journaling choices, I've been writing about it on my blog, Healing with Love and Gratitude at wordpress.com, correct? When I talk about choices, I talk about journaling choices. Because what most often happens, we may make an intention, like say for instance, we may make an intention that, dear God, this is what I want, right? Now, a lot of what we want arrives, may not be packaged in the way we imagine it, correct? But it is packaged, it is given. Now, the point is at the point of arrival, correct? Because every gift comes in a wrapping paper. Most of the time, we don't know what is inside. You just accept the gift as it is, correct? And therefore, your choice to open the gift, your choice to accept the gift, your choice to reject the gift, it boils down to being about your choice, correct? So you would want and should want, especially over the next, today we're on the 12th, right? No, we're on the 13th. So you have about 6 days to go, and over these next 6 days, journal your choices. Journal the choices you had and the option you took. And if you're able to do that for yourself, you will notice that there is a pattern in how you choose things. And that is very interesting, because when you start figuring out how you make your choices, it is very easy then for you to start planning for the future, because you know on the basis of what your choices are made. For example, I noticed that my choices are based on what feels good. May not be good, but it feels good. And what feels good for me, I would love for more people to enjoy of. So I make my choices on the basis of something that feels more expansive, something that feels right, something that just maybe brings a smile to my face for that moment. And because of that one moment, brings a smile to other people's faces as well. And yeah, so that's the way I make choices. Correct? And I've been writing down a lot of my choices. And I also realized that I also figured out finally in the last about 4 days that I've been doing this, that there is a third voice. Okay, so now this is so this is the voice that you make a choice and you say, okay, today I don't want to do this, and that voice will give you enough reason and push you in enough to make you do that one thing that you said you wouldn't do. That is the same voice that if you decide you are going to do something, could quite possibly be the voice that tells you, don't waste your time doing it, not worth it, don't, what if you get rejected. So this is the voice of interrogation, and I have decided to name this voice. I call this voice the devil's advocate. Now this devil's advocate is also a sum total. So when I meditated over this voice, to acknowledge it, because I realized it's been playing up pretty much this way and that way with me. Yeah. When I sat down to acknowledge this voice, what was very interesting was the voice wasn't wrong from the perspective of the voice. It exists. And it exists on the basis of choices I have made in the past. Emotions I have been through in the past because of certain choices I made come up through this voice. So I figured out that it is the voice of my ego, which is actually beautiful because I love my ego and my ego loves me and my ego loves my heart. That's another subject. I'll get to that a little bit later. But the voice of choice, and this particular voice is a voice that you should work with, not work against. So feel free, if you manage to find that voice and you manage to hear or be able to listen to that voice, just allow that voice to communicate with you and then through you. Because what happens is that it helps you change the choices you've made. With the new moon wave also, and it's a new moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn is an earth sign. And this new moon, we're also activating light. And we're not activating just that, we're activating sacred fire. We are activating the sacred feminine fire, which means healing of past emotions about the future. Now, when I say healing past emotions about the future, what I mean and what I want you to understand is that last year, the year 2020, which is the beginning of a brand new decade, we've all gone into questioning a lot of the decisions we once made. We've had to, correct? And we've been blessed to be given another chance to make new choices, correct? And therefore, what you need to do is allow the sacred feminine fire to wash away the past, to heal those past emotions, to let it burn out so that you can experience new emotions. In other words, what the feminine is trying to tell you, if you think new thoughts now, you, in the next 3 months, I don't know why I said 3, but I said 3. In the next 3 months, you could completely change your life because of the choices you make now. Get my drift? So that's about choices. The next thing I wanted to speak about, and very confidently so, is thinking with your heart and what that means. We often have been taught, because of our education and society the way it is and everything the way it is, we've been taught to think on our think with logic, correct? And logic therefore means putting too many things need to be perfect for us to take a decision, right? However, when you think of heart, it is a very childlike trust in the choices you're making. So again, coming back to the feminine dominion and shift in perspective, what is very important is you start thinking from the heart. Now, when I'm saying think from the heart, I don't mean act from the heart. So if somebody tells you that, oh my God, I love you, doesn't mean you leave everything and walk away and, suddenly decide that, okay, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. When I say thinking with heart, always think of everything, whether it is when you're daydreaming, when you're cooking, when you're on a conversation with a friend. Think with your heart. Talk from your heart. Be present through your heart. Allow your heart to rule your person and personality. Again, I'm reminding you, I'm not telling you to act from that place. I am just telling you to think and emote from the place of heart. So when you emote from the place of heart, you are more likely to see another person's point of view without having to indulge in another person's ego games. When you think with your heart, you are more likely you are more likable. Because when you think from your heart, what you're doing is giving the other person, giving another situation, giving the rest of your life the opportunity to be. You are not putting, when you think from your heart, you're putting pressure on no one. And here is the important point, nobody can put pressure on you. Because your heart is that part of you that does not exist on its own. Your heart is the collective heart of the earth, breathing with you, in you, beating with you. Your thought is what makes the difference. So I encourage you, again, think with your heart. And here's the third part that I wanted to speak to you about, the ego. Now, what you need to understand is that while we transition in our way of being, in what we're doing, and how we're going to live the next 12 months, as I see it, is the fact that your ego, unlike what has been taught and unlike what I ever understood it to be, is the sum total of your experiences on earth. It is a sum total of your conscious experiences from before you realized that you were making choices, from even before you realized that you were a person. So these, your ego is a sum total of choices that were made while you were in your mother's womb, which means somebody else made those choices for you. Your ego is a sum total of those emotions. Your ego is a sum total of the emotions of the people that you have met right through what you would call your life. So that is the sum total of your ego. So to start putting your ego in a box and believing in the dictionary term of the word ego is kind of missing out on the maximum benefit of your life experiences. And trust me when I tell you, your ego will only make a choice based on the meaning you give the ego. So maybe today what you want to do is that as you consecrate the past into the divine feminine fire and allow the past emotions, I would also recommend that you take a lot of words that you have been using and also consecrate those words into the sacred, the divine feminine fire, correct, of the new moon, right? And let those old meanings pass and give yourself the permission. Now, here is something that you have to do consciously, because when it comes to the ego, we all have certain thoughts about the ego which may not be valid as of 2 years ago. However, because we've chosen because we've chosen to hold on to those meanings continue to hold sway and continue to have the power to manifest through us and through our lives and through our lives with other people as well. So you may want to take, choose maybe 10 words, I don't know, 10 words, 2 words, 3 words, whatever it is. You want to take those words, you want to consecrate them and kind of surrender them to the divine feminine fire, which is internal, which is healing, which has been consecrated with the new moon, and which is a combination of power, darkness, the power to heal the darkness within you. So this fire, you can consecrate and just give away words, cremate those words, choose a new vocabulary. If you can't choose a new vocabulary that easily, my suggestion is choose a new meaning for the words you most often use. Try this. I promise you won't regret it. Before I go, and today I'm going to keep mine nice and short because I need you to think. By the way, people, please be nice to me and go to my YouTube channel and like it, subscribe. I just do one video a week or maybe one video every 2 weeks, so there's not that much. Yeah. So before I leave, I am just going to quickly do a happy manifesting 3-carder and not too much talking because this is mermaids and dolphins, and we are going to kind of gift these 3 cards. Are cards that are going to kind of, we are dedicating them to the sacred feminine fire, and we're going to ask with the intention that we all get to transmute the past and step into the future consciously with a greater, grander purpose of making 2021 count, not only for us, but for everyone. Okay, so okay, here's your first. Yeah, some days the cards just bounce. Yeah. So this is not a full-fledged reading. I'm just doing a new moon reading, and yeah. So if you have questions, it's not the day to ask. Just kind of know that what right now the intention that I'm making. Another word that you may want to focus on again is intention. So I've given you 4 words, I guess. So there is choice, think with heart, know your ego, and the 4th word is intention. So let your intentions always be for the greater good of all. The feminine energies are creative energies, right? So every thought is like a womb, and when you breathe with one thought, it is like a prayer. So the feminine doesn't often use words. Feminine is based on emotion. So you may want, I don't think any cards seem to want to come out, but here, okay. So here are the cards, and so since this is, what do I do? Hold them like this for you? Okay, so I'm holding the cards like this. Above my head, no? Okay, here. And I'm going to pull one card. And this is self-forgiveness. Let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. When the divine feminine decides to gift you something, she just does gift you everything. So self-forgiveness is the first thing that the divine feminine or the new moon wants for you. And what she's asking me to tell you is that when we speak of self-forgiveness, forgive yourself for the borrowed emotions you have lived thus far, and today choose brand new emotions. You can choose brand new emotions, you can make brand new choices, you can choose to think from heart, you can just choose to be you, and it'll be perfect. She's also telling me to let you know that if you make a new choice, remember not to run to act on that choice. Just make a new choice and breathe that thought into being. When we say breathe the thought into being, it's like, say for instance, if you say for instance you have the intention of wanting to, one is on my mind all the time, is to get a new assignment, correct? So what the divine feminine is suggesting is that forgive yourself for whatever assignments you didn't take, forgive yourself for the past, forgive yourself for the choices you once made, correct? What you need to do is think of the words new assignment and just breathe with it. Don't put any additional thought or pressure on yourself or on the words new assignment. Just breathe with the new assignment as 2 words that you're working towards manifesting. Correct? Because allow your ego to take action. This she is reminding me to tell you, because when the ego takes action now from a healed perspective, because we are now consecrating the ego to the sacred divine feminine fire. The ego will now begin to take action on the basis of the now feminine, not the old feminine, not the old masculine, not your old choices, because once you've done your self-forgiveness, you are a brand new idea and identity. The second card is music for manifesting. So it says to manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. I just spoke to you about this and she repeats the instruction and directions. I'm so glad she is speaking through me today to you guys. So it's an even happier new moon than I began thinking it to be. So it says music for manifesting. And this, she says that while you're breathing, if your mind keeps telling, since our minds are human, mind will keep shifting from here, there, and go all over the place. But the suggestion here is that hum. And one of the most beautiful ways to hum is just go with the Another reminder that when you're humming, hum from the stomach. Don't hum from just the throat, or don't try to hum just from the lungs. You take a deep breath. Now, the deeper you breathe, the longer you will be able to hum. And when you are humming, what will happen when you hum from the stomach? What you do is that you feel the vibration right through your chest, throat, right up till the crown of your head. So use that music for manifesting. Otherwise, what she's also recommending is that if you have a favorite YouTube video that you'd want to go to, you could also go to Healing with Love and Gratitude on Spotify and listen to some of the content that I have put up or has been put up through me, as I'd like to believe that. And and use that. So first you forgive yourself, and then you get into the process of music for manifesting. And the recommended music is the humming. You may also use a chant. You may also use your intention. You may also use your thoughts. Like, I need a new assignment. Dear God, I need a new assignment. Something like that. And here is the last card for all of those in love and in relationships. And the Divine Feminine wants you to know that this is a time to take your relationship with yourself as key, and know that yourself has already figured out who and what and everything about the collective relationships that you want to experience and that you're going to experience. So here is the last card that comes out, and here it goes. Here it is. And this says synchronicity. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. And the next word that she is reminding me of is the word choices. So, know your choices and let it flow from there. So, and now it's time for me to leave, let me just remind you that you could go to my YouTube channel, which is Dipanjali Rao. I think it's DRao76 on YouTube. You can go there and please not only subscribe but also press the bell icon. I would also recommend that you give Healing with Love and Gratitude.wordpress.com a look through. A lot of the content I speak about is already written on my page, because whatever I write comes from the source and returns to source when you read it. And the third thing is that you could also go to Spotify, and on Spotify the podcast is called Healing with Love and Gratitude. And I come once in a way on Facebook as well, so I look forward to conversations here. And happy new moon again, and remember, please journal your choices, think with your heart, act from your ego, and let your intention be to love, 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 love. May you always be happy and may you always be grateful. Much love, God bless, and happy new moon once again. And happy Lohri to those who are celebrating, happy Bihu to those who are celebrating, happy Pongal to those who are celebrating. God bless.